Hello and welcome back to Lawful Plays Neverwinter Nights 2. I'm your host Lawful. In this Neverwinter Nights 2 build video, we're going to go ahead and build up the strong monk, fighter, and weapon master. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more builds like this. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so be update and much more. Here are the pros and cons for this build. Now, pros is obviously you will max out tumble big time. Same thing with diplomacy. Number 2, it's going to be very cheap on the armor. Just trust me. Another thing is, we'll be able to get perfect 2-weapon fighting. That means that dexterity will be high. We'll do weapon finish next to the comma weapon. Now, another thing I felt that is big advantages is the feats. Yeah, all 3 classes will be able to build those nice weapon focus and weapon specialization. Plus the weapon master feats. Now, disadvantages is you're going to start out real slow. Number 2, you're going to have to depend on potions and your party members to buff you up like crazy. And one more thing, you're restricted to lawful alignment. If you're not lawful, all the monk goodness will fade away, or you can't be a monk any further. So we're going to go ahead and now what we're going to talk about is races. The races we're going to talk about, you got to become a human. We're going to start out with 16 dexterity. If you pick any other races, you have to be 18, then you have to sacrifice some of the other stats. You cannot sacrifice too much wisdom and intelligence. That's not a good idea. So for the next part of this build video, we're going to go ahead and talk about classes. For this build, we're going to do exactly, you guessed it, 3 classes. First of all, we're going to start 4 levels as the monk. I feel like the first 4 levels are important to get as a monk. After that, we'll transition to fighter. So this way we get the weapon specialization comma. Yeah, we're getting that nice weapon. After that, we'll class change once again to Prestige class Weapon Master for 7 levels. And then once we get those 7 levels plus the feats with it, we'll get Fighter until the Fighter's level 12, then finally the Monk. So let's pick our Monk. As for alignment, Lawful. If you don't want to get smited, Lawful Neutral is the best, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Lawful Good for personal preference. As for Deity, well, guess what? Just pick any. I like this one for a Monk, since it does feel right for this build. So let's go ahead and select it. As for abilities, this is going to be very important. We're going to put strength at 14. This way you get a little bit of damage before weapon finesse. Dexterity 16. This is very important. You must put that there or otherwise this build will not work. Constitution 12. Intelligence to 14. Wisdom to 14. And Charisma 8. That's why I decided to pick a human too, because you might have to maneuver some of the negatives and positives. Humans are actually perfect for this. So our goal will be is to get that dexterity up throughout the levels. So that's it for the ability scores. Let's go ahead and talk about background. You have 2 options. You could do no background or pick one of the other ones. I like the Wild Child one. Yeah, my appraisal will take a hit though, but that's alright. Another one is some other good ones too. But if you're afraid of pluses or minuses for backgrounds, then pick none. As for skills, it's going to be crazy. Diplomacy, we're going to get that. We're going to max that out. Big time if it's cross class. Intimidate, we're going to put at 2. We're going to get that to 5 eventually. 4 required for the Weapon Master Prestige class, but that's fine. We're going to just get the 5 for a safe bet. Listen, spot the 4. Starting out, it'll help us out greatly against certain stealthy foes. Tumble the 4, we'll max that out, even cross class. Spellcraft, we can get that only to 10. You can use Magical Device. I prefer Praise because the reason being is so this way I get a little discount at shops. Our main focus for the skills is Diplomacy, Tumble, and the third one, Spellcraft, and you choose your own, but I'll show you best bet for this build with the skills. As for feats, we're going to focus on the Weapon Master ones right away, rush that there. Dodge we're going to do, so in other words, we gain +1 dodge bonus against attacks from current targets or so, and then the mobility. This is great for building towards the Weapon Master Prestige class, so we'll select that too. My final advice is things are going to get a little bit tough starting out, but once you do get through a few of the class changes in the Weapon Master, things will definitely look up to the fact you're going to get some nice 2-weapon fighting feats and the weapon focus / weapon specialization ones. Just remember, play as a human, otherwise you got to adjust, and some of those adjustments might hurt you towards the end. So let's go ahead and get to the leveling part of this build video. It is time to level up our strong build. We're going to go ahead and start with the monk class, the first 4 levels at least. Reason being is I want to go ahead and grab some, of course, feats that's monk exclusive, and get some, of course, feats in too. So what we're going to do is diplomacy, put a point into that, and tumble, And we're going to store the rest for now and hit the next button. Now we get 2 free monk feats. The first one is evasion. This does this whenever you do a reflex save, normally you take half damage when it's successful. Now this gets bumped up into no damage zone when it's successful. We have a lot of dexterity, a lot of reflex saves, that's going to kick in nicely. Now deflect arrow, so first round attack that's projectile, shot against you, you don't take no damage or so. This works out if you're, as long as you're not flat-footed. If you're getting attacked from the side or behind, this will not work. I'm going to say good monk feats, especially the evasion one I love. Now we're going to go ahead and do our monk. Point in diplomacy, tumble, let's see here, spellcraft. We're only going to get spellcraft to 10 for this build, because that's how far we could go. And it's like 10 points every time you do that. Then, of course, you definitely get the, of course, what we call save throws against spells. At least leave one against that. And the other thing we're going to do is go put a point in intimidate too. Later on, we'll put that to 5 when we get to the fire class. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it at spot. And, of course, listen to put points on that. Next up, we're going to do is, let's see here. What's that? Weapon focus, comma. That's right, this weapon. That's what you want. So we get 1+ damage with the weapon of our choice. That's the comma. We also get monk speed. I mean, we'll be really fast. Yeah, we'll move fast. That goes up like every few levels too, which is good. And still mind that it's +2 bonuses, save throws against mind affecting spells. Great to have for a monk. Now, we're going to go ahead and level our monk one more time. Dexterity. You're going to put all your points in dexterity because we're going to get that to 26. 25 allows the perfect 2-weapon fighting feat, as long as we have the 2-weapon fighting feat ones. What we're doing is, number 1 is diplomacy. Let's see what else. Listen, of course, spot, and tumble. And we'll hit the next button, and we'll save those points. Now we get Kai Strike. That's usually for unarmed. We're not going to be doing that at all. We have a weapon instead. So we'll just ignore that. Now we're going to go ahead for 4 levels to level up the fire class. We're going to get some feats out of this one, especially the weapon specialization one. So we'll put 2 points in diplomacy, which is equals 1, and tumble since it's cross class. 5 points, not cross class, and intimidate. So now we have the skill part for the weapon master. Combat expertise. When you hit this, you gain 3 AC at the cost of your 3 attack rolls by -3. We're only doing this for one reason. The weapon master. Yeah, you guessed it. The weapon master requires that feat in order to have access to it. A lot of feats just to get the weapon master prestige class. Diplomacy. Yep, we're going to do that. We're going to focus on tumble and spellcraft. So we're going to just, if we can, do spellcraft. If not, leave it there. So now what we're going to do next is spring attack. So let me explain about that. Yeah, you do not get attack opportunities on your character when this is when you're moving around. This is really good to have. Now we get another feat, whirlwind attack. This is great. When you surround you, you pop this, and boom, you get a full attack per round. You get to hit a whole bunch of foes if they're all near you. Very useful against foes mobbing you up like crazy. Now level up some more. We get a fighter, diplomacy. Yep, we'll get that. Tumble. Yeah, so you should put points into that when you get the monk. Well, you can't store points really in Neverwinter Nights 2. You limit to 4 or 5. And I put a point in Spellcraft 2. Now we're going to go ahead and level our fighter again. Put your point in Dexterity, everyone. We're going to get to 26 with this build unbuffed. So what we're going to do is Diplomacy. Let's see here. Tumble. Put points to that. That's all we could do. Last but not least is Weapon Specialization, comma. So we get +2 damage bonus when we're using this weapon. This is what we want exactly. So now we got all of the feats what we want from the 2 classes we level up. We're going to go next to level the Prestige class, which is the Weapon Master. So let's go ahead and level up this Prestige class. It is time to now go ahead and, you guessed it, get the Weapon Master. Okay, let me get up there. I keep on forgetting. It's right there. It's not like Neverwinter Nights 1 way hunt for it. 2, you actually could find it easily. So we got the Diplomacy, Tumble, and Spellcraft. We're going to focus on those 3 exclusively, even though they're all cross-class. Weapon of choice, comma. We also, that means we get to open up other Weapon Master feats because of this. Kai of damage. What this does is once per day, you use this, you do maximum damage. This goes up every time you level up the Weapon Master. So we get about 7 of those, which is nice. So what we're going to go ahead and do, let me go ahead and look for is 2 weapon fighting. We're going to go ahead and start that as a weapon master. So we'll get some penalties on the offhand. Main hand be fine, but we're going to go ahead and go this path. So this way we get to perfect 2 weapon fighting. That means our main hand offhand will be same, which is good. So let's go ahead and show you, demonstrate that now. Now we drop off a little bit of damage with the main hand, and we only got 1 attack with the offhand. But still, that is very good, though, with our character. So let's go ahead and do Weapon Master level 2. I'm going to do this for 7 levels total. So what we're going to do is, let's see, where's it at? Diplomacy, Tumble, and of course, if we can, Spellcraft. If not, leave it alone. Sorry, no Feats this time. We're going to get to Weapon Master level 3 now. And we're going to do it again. Diplomacy, Tumble, and of course, Spellcraft we can. The thing about Tumble is every 10 points you get 1 AC. We're getting 3 free AC throughout this build. Neverwinter Nights 1 was 5 per AC for Tumble. But so that's alright. And now, we're going to do Dexterity. Put your ability scores into that. All Dexterity. Tumble, Diplomacy, stop there. Now, next up is on our list. Let's make sure we do it. I'm trying to look for it. Where is it at? We're not good. Weapon Finesse. So instead of strength for the attack bonuses now on our dice rolls, in other words, we get a little bit bonus with that. We get Dexterity. Now we're going to have very high Dexterity, and Weapon Finesse will work with the comma weapon. That's why we picked it. And because of that, we'll do more damage. See, look at that. Attack bonus now is 14, 9, and 4. Offhand's 14. I say that's a big improvement from the 9 and 10 from the previous 2 levels. Weapon Master once again. Let's see here. Diplomacy, Tumble, and of course you guess that Spellcraft. I could enable Learner, but it'll go in the other feats, and it'll kind of ruin this build. You'll miss out on Dexterity or something like that. This one's very strict on the feat path. Now we get 2 Weapon Master feats. We get a +1 bonus to all attack rolls with the superior weapon focus, which is the comma, and increased multiplier. So now our weapon, if I remember correctly, was when we get a critical hit, it'll be ×2. Now it'll be ×3. See, this is before 2, after ×3. I say that's a win-win situation with a Weapon Master. So let's go ahead and level up our Weapon Master some more. So we're going to do that. And what we're going to do is Diplomacy, Tumble, and that's it. With this build, you're starting to really kick some butt in the original campaign. You're shredding foes up like crazy. Now we're going to do again Diplomacy, Tumble, and of course Spellcraft. We'll hit that. Now our next feat up, let me see, where is it at exactly? I want to see it's here. Okay, I'm going to do is improve critical comma. So our threat range when we roll the dice will be dropped by a few. Now, commas are 20, so it'll be 19 through 20, which is good. And this stacks with Keen, by the way. We're going to ignore the Kai Critical for now. Let's see here. Where's it at? Where is it at? Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to show you where's that. Oh, yeah, Kai Critical. Let's talk about that. Weapon Master gains additional +2 to threat range. So now instead of 19, of course, through 20, 17 through 20 when we are dice rolls. And that stacks with improved criticals. And that's it for the Weapon Master class. We're going to go ahead and do the Fighter. And what we're going to do is Dexterity. So we're doing good for that. We'll get Fighter from 5 to 9 for the non-epics. So we're going to go ahead and put Diplomacy and, of course, Tumble. So let's keep on going, leveling up our character. And let's go ahead and do it. Select the Fighter. Yeah, we're going to do that. What we're going to select is Diplomacy number 1. Tumble number 2. And Spellcraft. Now, next up on the list, let me see where is it at. Not 2 weapon defense. Improve 2 weapon fighting. So our penalties in our offhand, our main hand, will start to lessen a bit, which is very good. So the second offhand attack, get a penalty of -5. That's pretty good for this build. And we get a second attack with that too, which is good. Now we'll pick the fighter class. Let's see here, Diplomacy, Tumble, and hit that next. Now what we could get is, you see that? Greater 2 weapon fighting. So now with that, our offhand will be -10 penalty, but our regular main hand will not get penalized. So that is pretty good. And this is like a gateway to perfect 2-weapon fighting. You want this. So let's hit the finish. And see, yeah, now we get a third attack too. Third attack's penalized, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and level up our fire some more. At this point, you're closing in on finishing the original campaign. You're really wrecking foes like crazy. Your party members just watching. So you're going to do is diplomacy, tumble, and of course spellcraft. Feat we're going to do is greater weapon focus, and that is a comma. Now this adds a +1 to a hit bonus on selected weapon, which is very good. And let's go ahead and do that. That's it. Let's level up. Yeah, see, we got that bonus in that, so we're starting to get really up there on the DPS department. So what we're going to do is fire before we get to the epics. Put a point in dexterity. Oh, don't worry. That'll even out there once we get through most of the epics. Diplomacy, tumble, and that's about it. And sorry, no feats. Now we're on to the epic levels. So we're going to get fire from 10 to 12 during the epics. So we're going to do diplomacy, tumble. At this point, you can pick the cross-class skill. I decided to do a praise. This way you can start to get a slight discount on shops if it goes our way. We're doing epic weapon focus. This adds a +4 bonus to all attack rolls, which is good. I mean, at this point, our DPS is going up now, thanks to these epic weapon focuses and such. And of course, we get the official epic character. That means it just tells us, congratulations, it opens up feats. Now we get another, you guessed it, feat to select, because we're a fighter. We sometimes get 2. And where is it at? I'm trying to find it. Let's see here. Okay, we're not going to do 2-weapon defense. Instead, what we're going to be doing is greater dexterity, or greater dex. Reason being is we're going to go ahead and start on the path of getting some extra dexterity points. We're going to use some of these feat spaces to definitely boost that up there. We'll select that, and there you go. This will give us 1 point in dexterity. And let's select that, and that is it. And see, we got 22 dexterity. We only need 4 more points left. 2 we'll get naturally by leveling up. Diplomacy and tumble, that's all we could do. Sorry, no feats there. Let's level up our fighter. Okay, let's do that. Let's see here. What I'm going to do is diplomacy, tumble. So we got 2 free AC already, and 1 point of praise. We get a little bit discount shop. Now we get greater weapon specialization, comma. So now we get +2 bonuses to all damage rolls, which is good. We'll hit the next. Now we get another feat too. Epic weapon specialization. Now we get +6 damage. So at this point, we're getting a whole bunch of damage. It's last time for the fire, by the way, but we're going out with a nice bang. See, we got that damage up there. So we're going to level up for restless build the monk. We'll get some monk feats and dexterity too. And speaking of dexterity, level 24, put that into dexterity. So we have 23, only 3 left. 1 leveling up and 2 feats. We're going to focus on those. What we're going to do is tumble. And of course, diplomacy, some points in the spot and listen. We'll get a little bit of those caught up, but not all the way. Just enough. We'll just once in a while spot someone or listen in on someone in case they start fooling around. We get purity of body. This one, everybody, you're going to enjoy. Where is it at? Purity of body. The monk is now immune to all form of diseases, magical, natural, or those annoying mushrooms from Wyvern Crown Crom here. So let's go ahead and level up the monk. Diplomacy, tumble, let's see here, listen, spot, try to even it out or so. If you don't like putting those 2 points in there, then spend some of those in appraise or use magical device too. That's another good method too. Okay, everyone, we're going to do this again. Greater dexterity. You guessed it. We're going to get another point in dexterity. We also get both knockdowns. Now, knockdown is any enemies that are your size and lower gets knocked down. Great to have. Improved knockdown levels that up so you can knock down giants now since we're humans, which is good. We're going to go ahead and level up the monk. That's going to be diplomacy, tumble, spot, and listen. Yeah, you definitely want diplomacy in Neverwinter Nights too, because you're going to be talking quite a bit. So this way things will go your way. And we get wholeness of body. Let's go ahead and examine that, shall we? Wholeness of body is the monk can heal twice their class level once per day. This is a good emergency heal on yourself in case you need some hit points. I say it's real worth getting. And let me go ahead and put the this one in too. We'll level up our monk, and let's go ahead and do diplomacy. Now we got tumble, we got another AC, so we got 3 free AC because of this build. Rest into spot and listen, even it out. You don't like those two, you don't want those. Then I probably suggest appraise. That's another good one too, or lore if you want to get more bonuses towards trying to identify items. Now we do great dexterity, another free point in dexterity. Now we have 25 dexterity. So we have the prerequisite for the perfect 2 weapon fighting. So we're gonna for level 28, we're exactly, you guessed it, 26 dexterity. So no more feats at all for that. So we'll keep at that. So it's gonna be temple diplomacy now, spot and listen. Now for the next level, we're gonna get perfect 2 weapon fighting. I'm just gonna tell everybody that ahead of time. But for that, improve evasion. So where is that at? Yeah, where are you at, you little rascal? I think it's somewhere else. Maybe class skill. Let me see. And sorry about this. Improve evasion. So it says half the damage. Now what happens is looks like you take no damage. And that improves big time too. So let's go ahead and do diplomacy, tumble, spot and listen, and that's it. Now for the feat, what we're going to get is perfect 2 weapon fighting. From this point on, if you pick this feat, your weapon in each hand will not get penalized, and they're all going to do exactly the same damage. In other words, you'll be ripping and tearing someone apart with a comma in each hand. You do a lot of damage, and you're going to just basically level the playing field. See, same damage on that. Yeah, look at that per round. We're just dominating at this point. We'll level up our monk, just keep on going. That's going to be diplomacy. It's going to be the last time to level up, so put all those skill points in. And let's see here what else. Oh, yes. Diplomacy, tumble, spot, and listen. I did tumble max, so this way in case I get a 7-item tumble. And what happens is I get 40. I get another free dexterity. Diamond body, and another one too we get. Where is it at? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, greater flurry. We're going to ignore that. Diamond body, now we're immune to all forms of poison, natural, magical, or vipers from Ravencrown Cromwell. And that is it for leveling up the Comma Strong build. Let's talk about gear advice. For equipment, let's go ahead and talk that over now. Please note in Neverwinter Nights 2, if you do 8 plus 2, try to get 10 in a certain stat, you're only going to get 8 in that stat. So you have to look for an item that's actually 10 to get the number 10. So remember that. So as for gear, you definitely want to look for strength, dexterity, and of course wisdom, because wisdom will raise up your AC. Now if you want to get constitution, that's fine too. If you need some save throws, look for those items too. Spell resistance. Any immunity helps, especially immunity to death magic. Don't get any of the poison or the disease ones because you are immune to it. As for your weapon, go for +5. Definitely keen up your weapon. Haste up your weapon because, believe it or not, that stuff really stacks with monk speed. If you're a human, since you are playing a human, look for true seeing items or the dark vision one. Other than that, that's it for equipment advice. So next portion of this build video we're going to do is combat. As for combat, if you're soloing, make sure you bring plenty of potions. If you have party members, make sure they buff you up. So we're going to go ahead and test this out against you guessed a raiding party of foes we could critical hit against. And this time up for test are the lizard folks. So the deal is just hammer away at your foes. If there's tougher ones, then use the Kai Strike. Yeah, you got 7 of them, so you get to tear up some foes. See, look at the critical hits will get constantly. Now, if you keen up your weapon along with the other 2 feats, improve critical hits, and the weapon master one that lowers your threat range, you're going to have about a nice 15 out of 20 on the rolls. If so many foes surround you, Whirlwind is a nice option too. People say you could take improve Whirlwind, but I've heard the other one's enough. And besides, we're tight on feats anyways, so we're almost done killing foes and ripping them apart. So basically, if there's a tank with you in your party, they should attack first, then you go in, just tear things up. If you're the tank, just go in, you'll really rip them apart. Now, the burning question is, what about foes you cannot do critical hits against? Well, guess what, everyone? That is no problem at all. All we need to do is we can do some Kai damage, for example, against these liches. And if there's foes surrounding us, same thing. It's just going to be normal damage, but no critical hits. And we'll get another few set of hits against these skeleton warriors, and we'll rip them apart. See, most of the foes went down in one or two whirlwinds. So we're going to focus on trying to get rid of these liches, and of course just shred them in pieces. Yeah, even without the critical hits, we're a DPS machine. And there you go. We almost got it, so we'll get it. Now, if you have a caster with you, they should be able the ones to dispel magic, so their barriers are weakened, protections. Then you go in and go all ham. Other than that, keep a few healing potions on you. You have wholeness of body. And then use that if you're in dire situations too. All we got is mummies left, and we're going to send them to the grave. And of course, all the foes that we cannot do critical hits against are dead. Here are the final advice before I do end the video. Yeah, things will start out slow, then it'll pick up once you do get the Weapon Master class. Make sure you have your commas in each hand, enchanted, of course, +5. If you get them keyed up, that is wonderful. Haste, really good too. True Seeing or Dark Vision or any of those that season in dark, that is nice too. You'll be wearing cloth, but that's alright. There's some good cloth out there. Definitely get some strength, dexterity, and wisdom items. Those 3 there. Dexterity is priority number 1, wisdom number 2, and strength number 3. If you get constitution, that's fine. You're going to be a DPSer mainly. If you're forced to tank, that's alright. You got some decent AC to handle foes like that. Otherwise, have fun with this build. Well, everyone, that's it for my Neverwinter Night 2 Combat Strong Monk Fighter Weapon Master build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thank you for watching and have a great day or night. And do please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more guides, builds, and other videos from Neverwinter Nights 2. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. Have a great day or night and do enjoy the view.